Hello and welcome back to the Code Maven channel. This time we're going to take a look at the case when you get an error message in the continuous integration system, which is totally meaningless. And how can you deal with this? So I was working on this package called test CSS, the one that you can see here. I noticed this and I wanted to add GitHub Actions to it. So here it is. We go to its repository. And I already have the forked version. I'm going to show you just the results here. So here we go. We go to the fork I have and to the actions that we actually had. So the first thing that I got, this was the first report I received. Here, strange thing, it passed on Windows, not on Ubuntu and not on Mac OS. So I looked at the results of Ubuntu. It's more familiar to me. And this is what I got. I got this report. No my-meta file is found after configure. Your toolchain is too old. And the strange thing is that, well, on Windows it worked. On my own computer it worked. So I wasn't sure what's happening. And the problem was, and this is sort of the main problem, was that I didn't have the content of this log file. So it says, okay, go ahead and read the content of this log file. But I don't think that it gives me any content here. Okay, so there's no... the content is not, content of the log file is not there. So what I added, and let's take a look at the configuration file. I added these two sections here. The first one is for Ubuntu specifically, the other one is for OS X, and there could be also one for Windows. The reason we have to have the separate ones because the location of the log files is different. And I guess it could be united, whatever. But anyway, it says that this step will only run if there was a failure before that. And if this is running on the matrix runner, which starts with Ubuntu. So it's running on Ubuntu, on a Linux machine. And then all I want to do is cat the content of all the build log files from this pass. Probably they're going to be only one because every run every job will run on a separate instance, so it doesn't matter, but this should print out the content of that log file. And the same for OS X. In this case, we check whether the runner starts with Mac OS, and then the path is slightly different. So in the above case, in Linux, it's home runner, and here it's users runner. So that's it. So that's one of the things. The other things I did is I separated the steps of the installations just in case to make sure that I know exactly which step fails because I wasn't really sure. But that's we'll see later. So this one, after I ran this one, I got the following. It's still failing, obviously, because I haven't fixed anything. I just hoped that I will get a report. Now the report here is the same, so I won't get the report in where the red is. So that's a bit confusing maybe, but it's not there. The report is going to be here in the show errors. And this case is when I'm looking at the Ubuntu, then the show errors on Ubuntu is the one that's showing up. And here, this is the output of the log file. So that's nice. We actually got the output. And here what it says, it can't locate file shared here installed. So some module is missing. So I guess what's going on, it's the configuration step of the installation of this module requires this file, and it's probably because it's using module install. I haven't actually checked it. And on the target systems, it won't be a problem because this package, the one that it's missing now, file share install, is probably going to be part of the installation. So what I said for now, that this must be some developer dependencies, so only the developer needs to have. So let's install it on the CI system. So this is what I did. First of all, I moved the installation of these extra modules ahead of the installation of all the dependencies. And here what you see is this is the module that was missing, and the rest are various test modules that were missing, and actually one of them two of them I found out later on, but that doesn't really matter. The point is that these are extra modules. One of them is needed for the Perl makefile, I guess, for the installed apps is needed. The others are needed for the testing for various auto-related tests. So that's it. I changed it and then I pushed it out, and the result is, so the first result is this, where all three are passing already, so that's nice. And then if I look at the output, the run tests output, then here I notice that there are two modules are still missing. These were the two that I added extra for the next step, and that's why I have a force execution here, force run, and then I guess that's the same for the other platforms. I haven't checked them, but here again, if you look at the run tests, then now all the tests are passing, both the auto tests and the regular tests. One thing that was sort of missing, we didn't need to add any flag to run the auto test, just to install the modules. This is not what usually I think other people do, so this could be another change that could be sent into this module. But the main thing, what I wanted to show here, are basically two. One of them is how to print out the content of these log files if they are failing, and then it's okay, we can leave it here, we don't need to remove them. And if Windows will fail at one point, then we can add the similar path once we know exactly where Windows is located, the logs on Windows are located. And the other thing is that we can swap around the order, and we can install these developer dependencies manually on the CI system. So that's it. I hope that this is going to help you in your next Perl package and adding continuous integration, GitHub Actions to it. And if you like the video, then please press the like button and follow the channel, and see you next time in the next video.